Little Tinker is not a bad cartoon, but I didn't absolutely love everything about it. This is an MGM cartoon that was released in 1948, directed by Tex Avery and written by Heck Allen. We have a pretty great voice cast, including Sara, Berner and Benaderet, June Foray. William Hanna does some of the yelling sounds. We have Lillian Randolph, and we also have the vocals of William Roberts, who does this beautiful song, and it really is stunningly sung. The cartoon is about a skunk called B.O. Skunk, and he's not having much luck in love because every time he approaches another creature, they obviously get a whiff of him being a skunk and they just run for the hills. So this little Cupid helps him out with he gives him a book that's full of different things that he can try. And one of the main things is becoming a crooner. And we have the song singing this, the skunk singing this gorgeous song. And there we have the vocals of William Roberts. And the song is absolutely stunning. I will say it runs on for a bit long. It I'd say it takes up at least a third of the cartoon, where there's not really that much action going on around it. Although we do have an awful lot of female rabbits all charging towards him. And there's something about the way the animals' movements is animated that I don't like. It didn't sit well with me. It's not terrible. The style is consistent, but just a lot of the movements, and particularly their feet, I wasn't very impressed with. It didn't feel very sharp. It felt a bit rough around the edges. It felt like it needed a little bit more work. Not that I'm an expert, but just in my personal opinion as a viewer, the animation style, just the movements of the animals just didn't really do too much for me. I didn't really love it, and that's part of the reason why I didn't love the cartoon, because I didn't like the cartoon style a lot of the time. The narrative is quite unpredictable, actually. To its credit, I feel like it's uncertain what direction it's going to take, and that's something that I found always find to be, a really positive thing if it can surprise me and keep me on my toes. The ending, I won't divulge, but honestly, I loved it. It made it from a meh cartoon to actually, this is a really sweet message. This is a really sweet cartoon message, and I can't say any more than that without spoiling it, but I did not expect it. And that really took me by surprise. And because of that, I thought the ending was pretty good, and therefore it left me feeling positive about the cartoon. So it definitely it gave it at least a couple more points in my rating. I'm not entirely sure what I would rate it as. I don't tend to give star ratings. It's got 7.2 out of 10 on IMDb, which seems a little bit high for me, for my personal preference. But the Frank Sinatra imitation I thought worked quite well. The character of the skunk I quite liked. I quite felt sorry for him. He still had some of that animal characteristics because while he's, trying to romance the animals as a crooner, there is this kind of animalistic urge that he has as well that definitely comes across, this desperation. And I think the character's pretty well written and reasonably well animated. Again, I don't love the animation style of the characters here, but I've certainly seen worse. Little Tinker is probably worth watching at least once, but I don't know if I'll ever watch it again.